CECOT, CECOT, the Terrorism Confinement Center in English, is a maximum security prison in El Salvador, South America. It was built in 2022 and opened in January 2023. It was built to house inmates, a result of the gang crackdown in the country. It has a capacity of 40,000 inmates, and as of 11th June 2024, it held just over 14,500. Just to give you an idea of how bad the gang violence topic issue was in El Salvador, from the 25th to the 27th of March 2022, gang violence killed 87 people. The initiative to lock up gang members was brought about by Nayib Bukele, the current president. It is built on a 400-acre piece of land. Kamiti Maximum Security Prison is a maximum security prison just on the outskirts of Nairobi, Kenya, where I was imprisoned for over 10 years. It was built in 1955 by the British colonialists to detain and execute local Kenyans for many crimes. It has a capacity of 2,100 inmates, but the population of inmates held there has gone up to 6,000 inmates, 3 times the capacity between 2006 and 2007, and again from 2012 to 2013. Kamiti Command is built on a 490-acre piece of land which consists of 5 prisons, of which Kamiti Maximum is the largest. In this video, I will play a clip explaining how a certain aspect of CECOT is, and I'll then try and compare and explain how the same aspect is at Kamiti Maximum Security Prison or Kamiti Command as a whole.
Zone, an hour from San Salvador, the capital. And access is not easy. The first roadblock, manned by prison officials, is 3 kilometers away.
As I said earlier, Kamiti is located on the outskirts of Nairobi, and civilians as well as prison wardens, officers, live a stone's throw away from the prison in a suburb called Kahawa West. Because there isn't enough housing for all staff within the prison staff quarters. There is one main gate to enter and exit all 5 prisons within Kamiti Command, and only a rudimentary check is carried out when entering from the main gate.
Further on, as you approach the CECOT.
Le réseau s'est coupé là.
Jammers prevent any telephone communication within a 2-kilometer radius of the prison.
At Kamiti Maximum Security Prison, the authorities tried to jam mobile phone signals to stop prisoners from calling, scamming civilians with equipment like this. But it backfired. With the rains, it stopped working. I still feel the prisons department in Kenya encourages the calling, scamming.
In front of us, an 11-meter high reinforced concrete enclosure, capable of withstanding an attack from a tank. Equipped with 19 watchtowers, guards armed with assault rifles, and a 15,000-volt electric wire fence.
At Kamiti Maximum Prison, there are 12 guard towers whose roofs leak whenever it rains because the officer in charge at the time, Henry Kisimbu, diverted materials meant for the watchtowers to building a church run by him within the locality of Kamiti. It's currently being investigated by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission of Kenya, And you can Google the same with his name for more information.
Quiero ver de las tres facciones, aquí enfrente. ¿Qué pandilla eres tú? 13. Solo letras veo ahí donde están los 18. Ahí están los 18.
Committee holds inmates serving sentences of 10 years or more, convicted of a wide range of crimes like murder, robbery with violence, rape, defilement, terrorism, etc. At committee, every inmate is given a black and white striped uniform upon entry, and if the inmate were to bribe a few shillings, they get a new one, a new uniform, instead of a brand new second-hand one. Unlike CCOT, though inmates are locked up unlike CCOT, where inmates are locked up for 23 hours a day, at committee there are work sections for those who desire to gain skills and stop calling innocent civilians with the mobile phones.
De pasarela, donde tenemos un control visual las 24 horas del día. Hay un agente de seguridad por módulo de celda.
That's around 40 warders per wing.
There are a maximum of 2 officers posted at every block, 24 hours a day, split into 4 shifts. So a block has 8 officers in a span of 24 hours. No guns are allowed inside the prison. It is very difficult for an officer to keep an eye on all inmates because the blocks are split into 3, 5 or larger cells and wards. And there is no bird's eye view of the blocks.
Single toilet for 80 people, and there's no place for rebellion. The first prisoner to cause a problem.
There are no beds in Kenyan prisons. 2 inmates share a single 6 foot by 3 foot by 2-inch mattress, and each has his or her own blanket. All toiletries like soap, toothpaste, etc. have to be brought in by friends and relatives of the inmate. In G Block in 2019, when I left committee, there were 4 toilets between 500 inmates. That's 1 toilet per 125 people. At night, the inmates that are held in cells pee and poo in buckets.
A cell measuring 3 by 2 meters, even more cramped.
Aquí estamos en una celda de castigo. Puedes observar una plancha de cemento, una pila, y al otro lado está un sanitario.
The only source of light is a tiny window in the roof.
The reasons to be placed in a cell at committee maximum can fill up a novel, but the main reason why an inmate can be placed in solitary is being found in possession of contraband and not having enough money to bribe the officer who caught the inmate. The duration goes from 3 to 14 days. There's no bed, mattress, or blanket, only a bucket to pee and poop in. Electricity is never turned off at committee maximum security prison since they had bought a generator in 2012 after 3 inmates escaped, and they haven't been found till today.
Are in constant training. And the warden has prepared for anything that could happen.
Formación en fila.
If a rebellion were to spread.
I wasn't in prison staff, so I really don't know how it's done, but I came across this comical video.
Sí, vamos a entrar.
The armory is equipped with cutting-edge assault rifles.
Acá ustedes pueden ver un arma letal que utiliza munición 5.56 milímetros.
All staff within the Kenya Prison Service are trained to use G3 rifles or a semi-automatic pistol. They are stored in an office within the prison and issued to officers through a small hole in the wall. Arms aren't allowed into the prison, but access to them and their issuing is done by someone inside the prison.
But that is not all. To prevent even the smallest incident, a network of 250 CCTV cameras scrutinizes the inmates' every move.
Pónganle.
The authorities at Kamiti Maximum installed CCTV cameras in 2015. There's a maximum of 3 per block, so at most, with the administrative surveillance, I doubt there are more than 80 cameras peeping into the lives of the inmates. But they all don't work. And inmates broke some of them after seeing they could show the authorities their secrets, like their hiding places for their phones, etc., etc.
The prisoners receive their medication.
There is a prison hospital that stocks basic medicine like paracetamol, mild antibiotics like amoxicillin, etc. Remember, most of these drugs are donations from well-wishers. The modus operandi is to treat inmates with trial and error. If that doesn't work, the inmate is given a referral and sent to a proper civilian hospital. The inmates keep their medications with them in the wards, no matter whether it's for a week, a month, or a year, because there have been cases of authorities trying to poison inmates. But the last known incident, according to the stories I heard, was in 1988.
And when they are allowed 1 hour out of their cells, it is to sing religious hymns in unison.
At Committee Maximum, inmates are free to work, con, engage in homosexuality, play football, go to school, like me for a while. From the time the prison is unlocked around 6 a.m. on working days, 8 a.m. on weekends and public holidays, till 5 p.m. in the evening, inmates can do whatever they want to. Religious activities are encouraged, but honestly, if an inmate didn't believe in God before prison, no encouragement or bribing with time out of the cell, food, etc., will truly change them. People say you'll find God in prison, but in reality, only the devil lives there.